Welcome to the Life Affair. My name is James Atkinson, and in this week's episode I'm going to show you the fastest way that I've ever discovered to cut the shag. You can adapt this to the wolf cut as well, but we're going to show you the shag in this particular episode, and then in a subsequent episode where we're going to show you how to cut the wolf cut, but in a slightly different way. As I say, it will be an adaptation. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and if you do, you know what to do. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new here for more content, tips, tricks, tutorials on all things hair. And let's get on with today's tutorial. Okay, so I've prepared my mannequin before I started, just to save you watching me put in 3 sections. But basically it's 3 sections. Now we're going to talk about the back a little bit first, and I think the back is quite an important thing on this particular scenario. What we've done is we've taken a section that goes in between the occipital bone and the crown area, and we've taken a horizontal line that splits the head into 2 basically, back to front, and that's really important to start off with. So what you can do is you can start with that, pop a clip in it. You can't go too low, but you can definitely go too high. And then what I've done then is I've created a rectangle section in the side here by taking a line across the parietal ridge, and then I've repeated that process in exactly the same way here on the right hand side. That's given us a rectangle shape through the top. I've just secured it with elastics so that you guys can see very clearly the sections. We're going to take the elastics out to cut it, but I suppose ultimately you could leave the elastics in. You could be inspired by my good friend Lee Stafford, who was the original ponytail haircut hairdresser back on This Morning, which is, for anybody that's not English will have no idea, but it's like a breakfast TV show, and subsequently repeated by many hairdressers, including my good friend Paul Watts over on his channel. So we're not going to cut it with the bands in, but ultimately you probably could cut it with the bands in. Anyway, on with today's tutorial. I'm not adverse to band hair cutting, by the way, by no stretch of anyone's imagination. If that's what you want to do, if you want to take these sections and hold it up in the air, elevate it and snip it, it will work perfectly for anybody that jumps in and says, why didn't you just cut it with the bands in? I want to kind of take it a little step further on and kind of show you something a little different today, but hopefully that might work for you, and if it does then. So we're going to take this top section, comb it into our hands like that, grip it as if we're going to do a ponytail, twist the ponytail all the way around by pinching it in between our forefinger and our mid finger, bring it down to the point where we want to cut it, and cut a square line. Now we'll have a curve in the hair that's longer in the corners and shorter in the middle. So let's take that section down, see how it's sitting. Is it the appropriate length? If it is, happy days, we move on. I'm pretty happy with that length and that looks good to me. Now we need to connect in our side panels. So then we just simply pick up our side panel, even with the clip or grip it's still attached, and we pull the hair forwards. And we've got a guide here at the top now, a piece of hair that we had there previously from the section we just cut. And dependent on how much length you want to retain, it will depend on how you angle your fingers towards yourself. So I'm angling my fingers here at about 45 degrees. But if I want to kind of go for the full blown shag effect, I'll need to cut a square line here. That will be a square line through this front side. So I'm going to cut a square line. But you can obviously leave it softer if your client's a little nervous about having the full-blown shag look, then you can leave it a little softer. But by over-directing, you do retain quite a lot of the length here anyway. And then we do exactly the same thing here on this opposite side. Pick up our, comb the elastic out, pull it towards us, finger angle just about square, and from the point at which we had from our top section, cut a square line down towards the ground. Just like so. Then we can make sure that we've got the same lengths on both sides, and if we need to make any adjustments, this is the time to do it. And that's pretty much bang on. There's a tiny bit here on this side to adjust, but we just take that off just like so. And there we have it. Perfect. So we need to just give it a little shake now. Now, because of where we put that initial section so low down past the crown area, we don't necessarily need to connect the back in, especially if you want more density and oomph in the back and a bit more thickness as well. Because what we'll ultimately discover here, and I'll show you firsthand what this actually looks like. If we just take a vertical section straight down the centre back like this, elevate the hair straight up, we will see that there is a very small amount of hair that we could possibly connect in to this. But if we connect that in, remember, we'll be eating hair away and bulk away from these ends, and so that's maybe not something that you want to do. The other thing is, obviously, the more length that's in the back, the more we create that short to long effect that the shag is well known for. So bear that in mind, and if you want to connect it in, my advice would be is to probably visually connect it front to back, just using a visual blending technique. Put the head over to the side, pick up the hair where the two are not connected, and then from the point at which they stopped being connected, you can come in and gently slice out and connect the two bits of hair together. And that will just connect the front to the back, but only visually, which is a good thing, because obviously then we retain some of that thickness through the perimeter, which is actually something that a lot of clients have said to me when I've used this type of haircut on them, that, you know, one of the things is the ends get so wispy at the bottom. Now this is quite wispy hair anyway, so I'll dry this off and I shall show you the finished result. Dried it off, styled it a little bit, haven't finished styling it, just want to show you on the fringe area, if the fringe area feels, you know, like you need a little bit of weight out of it, a little lighter, pick up the fringe area and just point cut into the edges. As long as you elevate the hair in the same direction of which you cut the section, then it will be happy days. So pick up the hair. Now what you need to remember to do though, is to, if you're going to cut the sides, is pull them into the middle. They need to be over directed back into the centre. Don't pull them straight out from the head. So you can pull the hair back into the centre of the head, and that will give you exactly the same cutting line as you achieved by pulling all the hair into the middle previously. That's the only thing you need to remember specifically about softening up the fringe area. And here we have it, a fantastic, easy to do shag haircut. So quick. By the time you've got the sections in, you've cut them, it's probably less than 5 minutes to cut those sections. And as you can see, the results I think speak for themselves. Just a beautiful look on all hair types. It really lends itself to all hair types. So if you want to get more volume in thin hair, or if you want to get more texture in fine and straighter hair, and if you want to get amplified waves or curls, this is the haircut to have. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you again in another one.